proceedings, the state would ask the jury to incorporate all of the proof that has been presented.
Okay, I mean, the law allows that. All right, let her step in. Raise your right.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, so help you God? Yes.
Ma'am, could you please state your name and spell your first and last name for the court order?
Brandi Moran, BRANDIMORAN.
You heard me say a few minutes ago that you were Jade's aunt and would have been Ivy's great aunt. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And just so we're clear about the relationship, explain the family dynamics to us.
Well, she was my niece, but I was there with my sister the day she was born. I was in the delivery room when she was born, and for lack of not having children of my own for many years, she was like a daughter to me. My sister and I are very close, and so she was more than just a niece to me, and the same with my husband.
And just to be totally clear, who is your sister?
My sister is Jade Benning.
And so you have known or knew Jade from the moment she was born. Is
The
that
first
correct?
breath she took, I saw.
And throughout her life, did you remain in her life?
She, like I said, was like another child, or like my only child for a long time. In fact, she was 13 when I finally had my child, and she was less than thrilled that I was bringing someone into the world to take her place, which he never did. But we took her, my husband and I took her to Disney World for the first time. I took her on her first trip to New York. She loved to travel. She was full of adventure. We traveled Europe together. We were in each other's lives when she went to culinary school. She lived with my husband and I. So we were very, very close.
And where were you when you learned about the February 25th, 2023 incident?
I was at my home in Northwest Arkansas, and I was actually folding laundry. My sister called and said something's happened with Jade. I don't know what's going on, but we're heading to Nashville. And I immediately we talked for a little bit. She was in the car, and in the meantime, my husband was in the background. Northwest Arkansas doesn't have a ton of direct flights, and it's a good 10 or 11 hours from here. So he was getting flights for me, the earliest that we could get in Kansas City. And we actually drove all night so I could catch a first 6 a.m. flight out of Kansas City to get to the hospital.
Did you know before arriving at the hospital that Jade was expecting?
Oh, yes. I learned that Jade was expecting on November 9th, 2022, because it was my son's 10th birthday. And she had actually traveled to Arizona. I was in Scottsdale for work, and my work was wrapping up, and I was flying out my son, and Jade flew out, and my best friend, so we could celebrate my son's 10th birthday together. And so she arrived at the hotel, and I was extremely excited that my event was over with, and was ready to, relax, and, wanted to have a cocktail with her, and she kept refusing. And so she finally had to tell me without everybody being there, but she had gotten me a little bag that said only the greatest aunts become great aunts, and it had a picture of the ultrasound inside. So from then on, if you look at our text, every single communication after that was about this baby.
And so would it be fair to say you were looking forward to being a great aunt.
Oh, yes. I had already asked off work well, I didn't have to ask off work, I work remotely. I'd already informed my boss that from June, middle of June through when my son had to go back to school, I would be working remote in Nashville, helping her learn how to become a mom.
The jury has heard that she was removed from life support, she and Ivy, on her birthday. Is that correct?
That's correct.
What was that like for you, yourself, going through that time?
It was probably, I thought, when my mother passed away a few years prior to that, that was the hardest thing I was ever going to go through. But nothing prepares you for what you see as your family's future going away. And although she wasn't physically my daughter, it was like losing a child. And not in a way that was fair, and especially at a time when my very last text to her was, "I'll see you on your birthday to celebrate." And that's what I was expecting that weekend before. I didn't expect to be driving to Nashville to experience what we experienced.
From the moment you heard, you got to Nashville, saw what was happening, has there been a day that's gone by that you haven't had this on your mind?
No, it's completely changed. We have a small family to begin with, and it's taken away I won't say it's taken away happiness, and I've done a lot with therapy and grief, and it's never going to go away. But there's never going to be pure joy in the celebrations that we have, because there's always going to be one of the big pieces of our joy missing. So there's...
And with respect to the family, your sister, surrounding people we have heard from, have you seen how this has affected them?
Oh, it's everything. It's how we operate in life now. It's even how I allow my son to do things, because we are a normal family. This isn't anything you ever think you're going to talk about. When I say we were boring people, and we liked it that way, and you can't let go of the fact that this type of thing now, really happens to other people. It happens to you too, and it can happen to you. And so it impacts every decision, every thought. There's just across the board with my sister, with, our father, with my husband. My son was 10 at the time, and just trying to explain to him why somebody that was, just like a sibling to him is no longer here.
And I was going to ask about that, because Jade and your son would be cousins.
They were cousins, but they were
closer than that.
They fought like brothers and sisters, and she was 13 when he was born, and then she turned into his babysitter, and then, she hit adulthood, and he had a little bit of a problem with her being an adult and not just his cousin Jade. So they fought like brothers and sisters, and there's just, it's really hard for me, like I said, because we have a small family, and my husband and I had our son late in life, and we don't have a lot of other relatives, and she was his only cousin, and he's not going to have her now later in life the way I've had my sister. Like, I relied on, and she watched out for him. She could put him in his place like no other, and just, it kills me that I know that he's not going to have that anymore.
And have you seen that actually affect your son?
Oh, definitely. Our entire family has gone through therapy. He had a lot of problems right when everything happened in school, just with behaviors. And it's impacted every single day since it happened.
Prior to this, was your sister, family unit, happy?
Oh, yeah, definitely. know, my husband and her husband are good friends. She and I are best friends, and like his children, like we all were just beyond just a happy, like I said, happy but boring, normal family. And there's just, I think somebody mentioned Jade's light, and that light's gone, and there's a dimness over our entire family that I don't ever see us getting back.
Can you describe, put in words, what you have seen this do to your sister, to Jade's mother, Ivy's grandmother?
It's just destroyed her. When she talked about Jade being her life, she was her life. They talked every day. And aside from the fear and the hurt I know she has, I've lived with the fear of like, is she going to be able to get back at us? And thinking about my sister not being here because she can't live without her daughter has been probably one of the hardest things that I've sat and just prayed and hoped that she is strong enough and will be strong enough, because I can't imagine. I look at my own child every Mother's Day, feel guilty that he's still here, and my sister doesn't have her little girl anymore.
Thank you, Ms. Moran. No further questions.
Hang on just a moment. Question? Brenda?
No question.
All right, thank you. You can have a seat. Who's the next witness?
Ms. Browning? Do you swear the testimony you're about to give to be the truth, so help you God? Yes, I do.